Hello there. Welcome back, home loan shoppers. Welcome to Chapter 5, Section 2 in this home loan shopping course. And as you can see from the course outline, this is the section on the break-even point. And if you just happen to stumble across this video, this is one video in a series of videos that comprise a complete home loan shopping course. In the description of this video, you will see this course outline, and it is hyperlinked, so you can jump to any part of this video that you would like to and join us. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the break-even point. All right, so I touched on the break-even point in a previous chapter. So just as a little refresher, as far as the mortgages and fees go, the break-even point is the month wherein the fees associated with the loan are paid for by the savings of the loan. And this savings can be realized from a monthly payment perspective or a monthly interest perspective. And I'm going to show you both. So we're going to do two refinance scenarios. In the first one, I'll look at it from a payment savings standpoint. And in the second scenario, I'll look at it from an interest savings standpoint. And then I'm going to do one more scenario to talk about how you can use this when purchasing a home and you're shopping for the right loan that you want to go with. Now, I'm going to use a basic calculator on purpose. I'm not going to use a fancy smancy mortgage calculator or an amortization schedule, because I want to show you how easy this is. You can use a basic calculator. So let's go ahead and pull up this basic calculator. And I'm going to use, just to let you know, I'm using real numbers. So this is based on interest rates and pricing of today. I'm going to use a $525,000 loan, and I'm going to use, that's not too important for you, but I'm just letting you know it's based on real numbers, real figures. $525,000 loan amount and a 30-year fixed scenario. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to the basic calculator here and run some numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and clear this out. I'm currently at a 6.5% rate. This is what I'm currently at, and I see a 6% rate that I'm interested in. The closing fees for this 6% rate are $2,100. That's everything, the appraisal, title, escrow, all the lender's fees, etc. $2,100. Now, going from 6.5% down to 6%, is saving me $170 a month, in payments. So my monthly payment drops by $170, going from 6.5 down to 6%. So I'm going to take the $2,100 and divide that by the $170 savings, and I get 12.3 something. So 12 months. That's the break-even point, and it's actually that easy. You take the closing fees and divide that by the monthly savings at your break-even point. In this scenario, it's 12 months. That's when the closing fees get paid for, or in other words, at 12 months, that's when the $170 savings starts going in your pocket, because the first 12 months that was used to pay the closing fees. And that's the break-even point from a monthly perspective. So if you're refinancing and you're staying in this home for longer than 12 months, well, there you go. That's going to save you some money. Now, if you're going to be moving out in 7 months and the break-even point is 12 months, and it doesn't make sense to do the loan if you're looking at the break-even from a payment savings perspective. All right, it was that easy. Now we're going to use that same scenario, $525,000 loan amount, 30-year fixed, where I have a 6.5% rate. I'm going to be going down to 6%, but I'm going to look at it from an interest savings perspective. So let's go back to the basic calculator here. All right, so here we are with Mr. Basic Calculator. Let's clear off the old figure here. So to calculate the interest savings, I'm going to take my current interest rate of 6.5% or 6.5. Now I'm going to take this out, all the decimals like we normally do in mortgages. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do 6.500, and I'm going to subtract the rate that I'm interested in of 6%. All right, and that's it. I'm going to subtract the rate I'm interested in from the rate that I have. You already know what this is going to come out to be, but I'm doing this long math here. So It's a 0.5%. You're saving a 0.5%, going from 6.5 down to 6%. I know you already know that, all right? But I got to take you through the whole thing here. So now you take your loan amount of $525,000, and you want to multiply that by that difference, that savings of a 0.5%, and you get $2,625. That is your interest savings for the year. So I'm going to take that $2,625 interest savings for the year and divide that by 12, because I want to get the monthly. And I come up with $218 and some change. So let's just call it $218 a month interest savings. Pretty nice. So I'm going to take my same $2,100 in closing fees, and I'm going to divide that by the interest savings of $218,000, and I come up with a break-even point of 9 months. So if I'm going to stay in the house longer than 9 months, using this from an interest savings perspective, the break-even point is 9 months. Now, this method of calculating using the interest, this works better for folks who plan on staying in the home and they want to pay it off as soon as possible. So they're staying in, and they want to pay it off as soon as possible, or maybe they're going to use it for a rental. Whatever they're going to do, their goal is to pay it off as fast as possible. Looking at it from an interest savings standpoint, in my opinion, is more effective, because when you're looking at it from a payment savings perspective, I told you this was a 30-year fix. So let's say you owe 27 years left on your current loan. You refinance into a 30-year and you take it out to 30 years again. Taking it out to 30 years is contributing to that savings. So it's not just the lowering of the interest rate that's giving you that $170 per month savings in that scenario that we did. It's also because you're kicking it out to 30 years again, that's contributing to the monthly savings. So if you were refinancing like we are in this scenario, you could do a custom term. Most places do custom terms now. So you can do a 30-year loan and have it customized down to 27 years. Just about every place should be able to do that. I mean, my tiny company, I can do custom terms. So if you owe 27 years, I can do a 30-year loan, but customize it to 27 years for you. So give you a 27-year term. You owe 23 years, I can do a 23-year loan, whatever. Most places can do custom terms now. If you're looking to pay your home off, you don't want to take it back, you just do a custom term. And from that, with that custom term, I would look at it from an interest savings perspective and not a monthly payment perspective. So sounds cool, huh? Right? So that's it's pretty doggone easy. So that's it. Now the one more thing I want to mention is that this method of the interest savings, this is a fast method that doesn't involve, like I mentioned, an amortization schedule or mortgage calculator. So the only issue with that is when you start taking this out more than 5 years, it starts to become a little more inaccurate every month. The reason why is because the principal balance is paying down more and more. That's why I wouldn't use this quick method of determining the interest, where you take your current rate and you subtract the prospective rate. I would only use that out to 5 years, because after that it starts getting a little off. After 5 years, I'd use a mortgage calculator or an amortization schedule. But since most people are doing something around 5 years or so, they're either refinancing or selling their home, this method works out good for a lot of people, and you don't need anything special, just a basic calculator. Do it really quick. All right, let's finish up with doing a purchase scenario, a modified version of this in a purchase scenario. So I'm out there shopping for a home loan for the home I want to purchase. I'm doing this purchase. I got 2 loans in front of me. I don't have a current rate, so it's not a matter of comparing my current rate like I did of 6.5 with the new 6% rate. I don't have a mortgage right now. I'm doing a purchase. So I'm comparing 2 prospective loans. One at 6% with $2,100 in fees, and one at 5.625% with $5,000 in fees. So let's go to the basic calculator, and I'll show you how we approach it from that standpoint and determine which one we're going to go with. All right, basic calculator engaged. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and clear these figures from the last scenario we did. All right, so this one's going to be easy peasy calculation too. So after my down payment, I'm going to be doing You guessed it, a $525,000 loan. We're going to do that again. And I'm going to take this $525,000 loan. I'm going to multiply that by the first prospective rate of 6%. Okay. And I get $31,500 in interest for the year. $31,500 in interest for the year. So I want to calculate this over 5 years. I'm going to take the $31,500. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply that by 5 per 5 years. And that comes out to be 157,500 smackaroonies, 157,500. So now let's run the calculation for 5 years at 5.625. So I'm going to take that same loan amount, 5.625, and I'm going to multiply that by the 5.625. So I took 525,000, sorry, multiply that by 5.625%, and I come up with $29,531.25. All right. So now I'm going to take that figure. Let's just take 29,531 smackaroonies. We don't have to throw that change on there. Just doing it rough, times 5 years. And I'm getting 147,655. 147,655. So you know that's less than what we had with the 6%. So you just subtract those two figures. All right. So let's go back to the 6%. Remember, it was for the 5 years, 157,500. All right. And I'm going to subtract the 5-year figure for the 5.625, which is 147,656. And I get 9,844 smackers. So that's the difference in interest over 5 years. The 5.625% rate on the surface is saving $9,844 more than the 6% rate. And I said on the surface because we haven't factored in the closing fees yet. All right. So from this 9,844, we have to subtract the difference in closing fees. The difference in closing fees was about $2,900. You pay $2,900 more for the 5.625 rate. So we need to factor that in there. So let's subtract from the $9,844 in interest savings. Let's subtract the $2,900 difference in closing fees that we paid to get that we would pay to get the 5.625 rate, and that comes out to be a net of $6,944. So after you calculate the interest savings over the 5 years, and then subtract the closing fees that you paid extra for the 5.625, the net savings is $6,944. So in other words, it is worth it over 5 years to pay $2,900 extra in closing fees to get the 5.625 interest rate. And that is it. Pretty easy peasy in a nutshell. So choose those 3 scenarios, 2 for refinancing and 1 for purchasing. All right. So there you go. You're armed with some more weapons to save you money. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching section 2 in chapter 5. So section 3 should start up automatically because this is part of a playlist. But if it doesn't start up automatically, or if you just want to watch section 3 at another time, go in the description of this video and click on the next section in the course outline, and I will see you very shortly in the next section. Thanks again and have a great rest of your day.